Hello friends, welcome back. Josh and I, we took an anniversary trip to Red River Gorge, Kentucky, and I have my bags here. We just got back yesterday, and I just thought I would share like what makeup I took and just kind of do my makeup look. This is just like a go-to everyday easy makeup look. So yeah, we're just gonna jump into this. I need to get my mirror over here. And I know it's like Red River Gorge is mostly hiking and camping and all of that, which we did a ton of hiking. And I know most people that hike don't really wear makeup, but I am that girl that on hikes, I will still wear makeup. So I had one bag here that I had my makeup in, and then I had another bag full of like brushes and tools. So those were the two bags that I took with me on the trip. For my foundation, I took the Rimmel Lasting Finish, and I really have been enjoying this foundation so much. Not only is it full coverage and long wearing, but it's hydrating and it has a little bit of a glow. I just feel more myself with makeup on. As I've gotten a little bit older, like my under eye circles are just darker and more prominent than they were when I was younger. So I just want to use makeup to knock off some of the years. But it's like one of those things, it's like when I was younger, I wanted to use makeup to cover up acne and things. And it's like now that I'm a little bit older, I like to use makeup to look a little younger. So, but this stuff lasted through hiking and sweating and everything. So this is a good makeup routine to last doing outside activities. I've been loving the LA Colors Conceal Corrector in Peach. Like I cannot do my under eye concealer now without this product. This just helps to color correct blue under eye circles. So I don't know. I just find that this really does help to counteract that. So I've been using this Profusion dual-ended brush. I got this out of a Profusion eyeshadow palette, but I just used the blending brush side to blend this peach tone concealer out. I tried not to apply a ton of it because I do want like thin layers of concealer here around my eyes, because if you cake on too much concealer, it can also age you because it can just kind of gather in like your fine lines around your eyes. It's like every time I try to like not use this, I don't like the way that my under eye concealer looks. Like I just find that my under eye circles are a little bit more prominent if I don't use this. I'm using the Rimmel Multitasker Concealer, but any flesh tone concealer, you want to go over top of it, because if you were to leave it like this, it looks crazy. So just going to do some dots of this Rimmel concealer. And this has just been a go-to favorite. I love pairing this with that Rimmel foundation. They pair really nicely together. This is a really good full coverage, long wearing concealer. So see, I know you can't really tell the difference in if it's making a difference than if I didn't use the color corrector. So I'll have to film a little short just showing that so you can see the difference at some point. Then for the setting powder, I've just been using the MCO Beauty Miracle Flawless Pressed Powder. Like I've almost used this completely up now. This is a really good setting powder. I love this. But yeah, on our trip to Red River Gorge, if you live close, or even if you don't live close to the Red River Gorge, it is gorgeous. If you love hiking and camping, like we didn't camp, we just rented an Airbnb, which we loved our Airbnb. It was so, so nice. Love the views. It had a hot tub, which we used a couple of times while we were there, like in the later afternoon, evening-ish time. We did several hikes. We did long hikes, like 5-mile hikes, and the views there are just amazing. I'll have to insert some pictures so you guys can see. I also did a post on Instagram, so if you want to see like more pictures or whatever, I'll have my Instagram link below. It's just like my personal Instagram account. It was such an amazing experience, and I can't believe that like we hadn't been there until now, because we only live like 2.5 hours from Red River Gorge. I'm just using the L'Oreal Infallible Blurrfection powder. This is the light pink. to set the under eyes. This has just been like my go-to under eye setting powder. This also helps to like brighten and counteract dark under eye circles. This is not sponsored in any way, but like I downloaded the app All Trails, and the app is so good for finding local trails. I mean, you can, you know, find them there at Red River Gorge, like if you just Google different trails and stuff. A lot of the trails kind of interconnect there. So if you were wanting to stay on a specific trail, sometimes it would get confusing. And I really felt like that All Trails made like a huge difference in like our experience with doing the trails that we selected to do there. Highly recommend it. And I know that there was some other trails that we didn't get to that I would love to do like at another time, but it was such a great experience. We loved it so much. I went ahead and filled my brows in off camera, and I used the Maybelline Build-A-Brow. This is great for travel. This is one of the reasons why I took it with me, because I like how it has the gel on one side, the pencil, and on the other side, the pen. You know, just all in one. It's been my go-to brow product. I mean, you guys know that because I've been using it so much in my videos. Then I'm gonna go ahead and prime with my Milani eyeshadow primer. And I just took some eyeshadow that would be very simple, more of like a one and done eyeshadow look. And I'm gonna let that eyeshadow primer dry on my eyelids for a little bit before I go in with the eyeshadow. For my blush, I'm gonna be using Mellow Wine. This is what I took with me on the trip. This has just been my go-to favorite blush lately. It's just a really pretty like rosy terracotta color. I think this shade is perfect for fall, just like the perfect fall blush. And I do have a lot of like liquid cream kind of blushes in my makeup collection, but honestly, I just reach more for like the powder, like classic powder blushes than anything. I don't know if you guys are like that or not, but like, what is your go-to favorite blush right now? Do you also really enjoy Mellow Wine from Wet n Wild? And then for my bronzer, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation in a Powder. This is in Golden Beige. So it's a really good bronzer shade for me. So this is also what I took on my trip. This is also a really good color for when I start losing my tan. It's really great in the winter months, the fall and winter. And I'm just applying this with the Sigma F30. So just applying it up around my hairline and then just kind of taking whatever's left. Also, I have like glitter on my face. I don't know if it's from my fingernails or what. I'm like, where's this glitter coming from? Okay, and then before I do my highlight, we're gonna go ahead and do the eyeshadow real quick. And I took the Maybelline Single Shadow in Nude Glow, which is a really pretty, just like rose gold color. This is my go-to for just a one and done eyeshadow. Man, my nails got so dirty from the foundation. But yeah, it's just such a beautiful one and done eyeshadow. I know I've used it several times in like different videos, but day to day, this is just like the eyeshadow that I wear the most often. But I'm just using like a flat shader brush and I'm applying it on the lid, and then I'm taking a little bit of it kind of up like this, kind of making a little bit of like a V shape out there. And then I'm gonna go in with like the blending brush side to blend this out. So this is just another one of those Profusion dual-ended brushes that I got out of the Profusion eyeshadow palette. Which, do any of you guys use Profusion eyeshadows? Should I get some of their palettes again and do some tutorials with their palettes? I know that like Profusion is another one of those brands that it's kind of hard to find places that sell their palettes, at least around me. I know that some Walmarts sell Profusion palettes and stuff. And I think like my local Meijer sells some, not like a lot, not like the full line or anything, but that is like another brand where their eyeshadows are such great quality and like the price is unbeatable. Like I think for a full size palette, most of the time it's like around $10. So I'll go back into the shadow here on the blending brush, and then I'm just going to blend around the edge. So I know some people don't like using shimmer in the crease, but I don't mind it. I think it looks fine. And then I also brought the Wet n Wild Color Icon palette in Walking on Eggshells. Couldn't leave the house without this since I use the highlight shade so much. I mean, honestly, like this shade in here, like both of these two shades, the shimmer shades in this palette are also really pretty for one and done eyeshadows as well. But I just get a little bit of the cream highlight shade and use that as like my brow bone highlight and also my inner corner highlights. And it's like this makeup look is just when I don't know of a makeup look to do, or if I'm just wanting to do something quick for every day, this is my go-to makeup look. And then for my highlights, I brought the Becca highlight in Opal. This has just been my go-to highlighter. Such a beautiful highlight, really intense, but at the same time, I don't feel like it highlights too much texture. And then I'm just going back with my makeup sponge, just kind of tapping around, making sure things are blended. And then for my setting spray, I just took the Scandinavia makeup finishing spray. This is the bridal one. This is really just going to help to lock on the makeup. Also tone down any powders. Oops, knocking stuff over. Off camera, I got my clothes on for today, and I also did my mascara, and I just used the Maybelline Lash Sensational. That is what I took with me on my trip. You all know this is my holy grail mascara. I took a couple of different lip products, but the only one that I wore on my trip was this Dior Lip Glow in the color Mahogany. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this on. But this is just one of my go-to favorite lip products just because it is so moisturizing, long wearing, and I just love the color of Mahogany. It's just such a pretty like reddish brown color. Before I leave for today, I wanted to read out of my devotional book for you guys. I'm trying to remember to read out of this at the end of my Get Ready With Me videos. I'll have it linked down below if you are interested. This is actually the evening devotion because it has devotions for morning and evening, but I read this one the other day and I really liked this one, and so I wanted to share it with you guys. A thankful heart. May you set aside your fears, worries, and frustrations and pull close to the ones you love. May you notice and give thanks for all that is right in your world. May the Lord become especially real to you in the coming days, and may you grow in your capacity to thank Him and trust Him in every single circumstance. And since this was the evening one, it says, enjoy sweet rest tonight. And then the scripture that goes along with this devotion is Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 through 7. And this is one of my favorite passages. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. So just a great reminder that there's always something that you can be thankful for in your life, even if things are not going right. I know it's really hard. We all worry about things. Just know if there is something that is on your heart and you're worried today, just pray and give it to God and just trust that He has got that in his hands and he is going to take care of it for you. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this little get ready with me today, just sharing what I took with me on my trip. And these are just go-to favorites every day, my go-to favorite everyday makeup look. And I hope that you enjoyed hearing about my trip and seeing some of the pictures. I know I didn't really talk too much about the trip, but I mean, pretty much we just did a bunch of hiking and resting at the Airbnb. So I hope that you guys have a great week. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.